Ladies and gentlemen, this is up there. This is up there with Isco making his debut. This is up there with Real Madrid signing Cristiano Ronaldo. Comunicado Oficial. It's over. It's official. When you see this, you know it's business time for Real Madrid. You know it's the right decision. You know it's the big time decision. ENZO FERNANDEZ is officially not coming to Real Madrid. This is the official statement that has been dropped in 2026, the 3rd of July. I know my months in English. On ENZO FERNANDEZ by Real Madrid. I'm so happy, honestly, guys. We're gonna react to it. We're gonna know, why we are not going for him, why the price is too much, why this transfer is right now impossible for Real Madrid, and how it could happen if Real Madrid wanted to go for Enzo, but they don't want to go for Enzo because he is too expensive. That's what I've been telling them for the past 2 months. And even before that, every single player, every single, a person that I have met, talked to, seen interviews about the club, every single person that liked Enzo, that rates Enzo, that is that one thing in mind, and that is the price. In light of the reports and statements that have appeared in recent days regarding an alleged interest from Real Madrid CF Club Football in the player Enzo FERNANDEZ, the club wishes to state that it has not made any effort, either direct or indirect, to sign a full player, and likewise has no intention of undertaking such an operation. Real Madrid wishes to express its utmost respect for Enzo FERNANDEZ, a great footballer whose career and quality are widely known, as well as for Chelsea FC, and club which maintains an excellent Shut the hell up, man. We don't care about the relationship with Chelsea. We have already stolen Cucurella from them. That's all that matters, honestly. Honestly. Yeah, Real Madrid regrets this and that. Confusion amongst fans. Guys, don't apologize. You should be saying to us, you should be happy if you release this statement and we are not signing this bum of a player. Which is good. I'm only saying he's a bum because of the 140 million price tag. Because let's be honest, guys, if Tonali and flipping Matheus Fernandes and Elliot Anderson are going for 90 million, 100 million, 120 million, how much is Enzo really going for from Chelsea? Stubborn selling club, a player that is highly rated and that has already going for in 2022 for 120 or 105 million, whatever the price was, is just gonna be nuts. If we actually wanted him, the possibility of this transfer would be in installments. That's what Real Madrid has come out and said, because this transfer is just too much. The financial side of it is absolutely nuts already, and I think Enzo is just not worth the price. Let's be honest, guys. I don't think any of these players are worth the price, and if that's the market, I don't want Enzo FERNANDEZ. And finally, Real Madrid have come out with an official statement. Enzo FERNANDEZ is unfeasible and not even on the table for Real Madrid because the club believe his asking price will not drop below 100 million euros, and that's 100% correct. It will not even drop below 100 million pounds, in my opinion, which is even more. If you know, you know. This is the right decision for Real Madrid. I could not be happier with this decision. There is many better alternatives. We already know that Matheus Fernandes is not gonna happen. Tonali is off the table. He wasn't even, a big rumor for Real Madrid. I think Buari is off the table now, too expensive. Enzo FERNANDEZ finally off the table. Let's focus on the players that actually matter. There's some rumors that we might be selling Tchouameni as well, and we could be looking at a completely other midfielder, which is going to be discussed in another video. I don't want to be looking at alternatives, but I'm telling you guys, there are alternatives. There are other players that we could be signing that will be less money and are going to be better for our system and for Jose Mourinho than Enzo FERNANDEZ. Because let's be honest, if he's over 120 million euros, I'm not buying that. We don't need him. And that's exactly what Madrid did. Finally, I have seen it. I have seen it many times before, but Enzo this, but Enzo that. I was always saying he's too expensive. It's official. Real Madrid think alike. Yeah, Isco and Real Madrid think alike, finally. The only way Real Madrid would be able to sign Enzo FERNANDEZ is if they were able to agree on a payment schedule with Chelsea, which is very, very unlikely. Yeah, on these huge deals for big players, these clubs need to make their money like immediately, because if you're selling a player of Enzo Fernandez's stature, especially for a club like Chelsea, which Enzo Fernandez would be one of their biggest players, which might not be the case for Real Madrid. You know, we have much bigger names, much better players than Enzo at our club. Even in the midfield, we have better and bigger names than Enzo Fernandez. But for Chelsea, if they are selling a player of this stature, they need to make their money back, because they need to sign a player of that stature, or, you know, try to at least replace a player like Enzo immediately, because Enzo is a definite starter in their team, especially I think under Xabi Alonso. He would be a great addition to his system if he goes there and plays that 3-4-2-1, where there's 2 10s, 2 basically 8s, 6s, whatever you want to call it. There's basically 4 midfielders, everybody has a different role. He slots into that team perfectly, in my opinion, in one of those 10s. Because if it's Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, or somebody different, you know, or he plays as a attacking 8, or one of the midfielders in a 3-4-2-1, he's gonna be sensational in my opinion, and he should stay at Chelsea. But for him, and you know, I think his agent is Javier Pastore, the midfielder, you know, played for PSG, for example, the Argentinian as well, has come out and said that they are looking for options to leave Chelsea. The only thing I care about now, though, is that he is not joining Real Madrid. I think some other clubs would use Enzo Fernandez immediately. I think PSG could be looking for him, you know, Bayern could be looking for him, Juventus, if they have the money. I think some other Prem clubs could be looking for him. There is many clubs that could use Enzo Fernandez, but it's who is actually going to buy Enzo Fernandez for this price? I already said I don't care about it, you know, because Real Madrid are not going to get him. But if they are truly getting for another club, or, you know, maybe even another league outside of the Premier League, who has the kind of money to, first of all, employ Enzo Fernandez for his wages, and second of all, buy him? Because that's the most important part in this day and age, because the market is just crazy. We've seen Tonali go to Spurs, Matheus Fernandes go to Spurs as well. They spent 190 million on 2 midfielders in 2 days. And that's just the start of their window, by the way. I think they're going more and more. And by the way, Spurs finished, where did they finish? 17th in the Premier League last season, just outside of the relegation zone. And that is the club that is spending 190 million on players from Newcastle and West Ham, which West Ham got relegated, and Newcastle had one of their worst seasons in recent, you know, times. That's just absolutely crazy. The market is going nuts. I think every single player now is going to be, you know, inflated. And I'm just happy we are not making a mistake and jumping the gun with Enzo Fernandez, because I think we could be looking at better players. For example, like Angelo Stiller, way less expensive, similar talent. I think he fits Real Madrid even better. Adam Wharton, better profile. I think he can become better than Enzo Fernandez in the position that we need. Would be, once again, less expensive. I genuinely think there's so many better options than Enzo Fernandez. I'm just so happy that he's not going to Real Madrid. Now, the last thing I actually want to talk about, and it's important, it is that we have not said 100% that we are not going for Olise. There is still that little chance, even though I think it won't happen. I like that we are keeping tabs open on Michael Olise. Real Madrid released 2 statements. This summer, denying contact with the entourages of Michael Olise and Enzo Fernandez, but we already know that we have 0 contact with Michael Olise. It's just not true. We do have contact, and there is rumors, and even Michael Olise himself knows, the president of Bayern knows, everybody knows there's contact, bro. The difference in the statements, they ruled out a potential signing for Enzo, but not for Olise. We have just said that we have not been in contact with Olise yet. I think with Enzo, it is literally that we don't want to sign him. We have said this, by the way, like 3-4 months ago, shutting down every single rumor because they don't want to sign Enzo Fernandez. We would have preferred Rodri even back then over Enzo Fernandez. And honestly, guys, for the price, it might be better to get Rodri at that point for like 50 million. I genuinely think Rodri can offer something similar to Enzo on the pitch, but Enzo would be 80 million more. That's the difference in this market. And honestly, I'm happy we are keeping tabs open on Olise. Do I think it will happen? No, I think the transfers value would just be too much. And if France go on and to win the World Cup, it's looking like it. Let's be honest, guys. Kylian Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, Kone, Chouameni, everybody's just balling out. They're beating everybody easily. And yeah, I don't think we are gonna go for Olise, but that's not so disappointing. I genuinely think Olise will become a Real Madrid player, even if it's 1 year later, 2 years later, 3 years later. The most important thing is that this little bum from Argentina will never be a Real Madrid player this summer. It's not gonna happen. Too expensive. It's an impossible transfer, and now it's official with the Comunicado Oficial. That's all I've been telling you. That's all I wanted. I'm so happy. Let me know down below your thoughts on Enzo not coming to Real Madrid, because I know some of you will be really unhappy, but some of you will be in the same camp as me and will be ecstatic, which is the right decision to do, by the way. Not spending so much money on this brother and focus on other midfielders that are better for the profile that we need and Jose Mourinho needs. Thank you so much for watching this video. Another transfer talk. There has been so many news. I am enjoying the content. I hope you are too. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.